place, no color. There'll be more love, not drama. If I could change the world, it would be somewhere out here. There'll be no 9 to 5 here. If I could change the world, that's me. If it were you, what would you do?
Real change is a good look. We never need no money or a bank book. I wanna walk in a store and get whatever I want, whenever I want. I promise nobody will ever go hungry. Not around me. No way. I say every day would be a high day. We party like a Friday. And if I girl give you wine, well you must take a wine. If you don't, there's a crime. Unless she have a man, there would be no racism, hatred or suppression. There'd be no form of depression. Not in my world.
If I could change the world.
Every other day would be Christmas. We would feel no pain, never have to cry. We would never have to work a day in our life. Every child would be happy, growing up with some mommy and daddy. Trust me, what's a wonderful world it would be. Cause every day be a high day. When we party like a Friday. And if a girl give you wine, well you must take the wine. If you don't, there's a crime day. Unless she have a man, it will be all love and no hate. These are the things that I would do if I could change the world.
Ricardo Drew, the Drastic, Lily, working out in combination. Track called Change the World. One of the hashtags we always have is hashtag changing the narrative. Greetings and salutations one and all, how you doing? It's Healthy Love right here on the night shift with DJ Kevin Stew. Wanna say big ups to each and everyone locked in right now. Much love to you, and yeah, you over there hiding in the corner. Yeah, you.
Every child will be a growing up with some mommy and daddy. Trust me, what's a wonderful world it would be. Cause every day be a high day. When we party like a Friday.
Good morning, good afternoon, good day to you from wherever you are in the world. Good evening from right here in South Florida. How you doing?
These are the things that I would do if I could.
I want to say much love to those locked in right now. Those from the UK locked in on One Harmony Radio. Top of the morning to you guys. King Genius, Queen Genius, big up.
Every day would be a high day. We party like a Friday.
Much love to my family over there in New Jersey. NIE Radio, the motivator.
Unless she have a man, there would be no racism.
Much love to you, bro. But you can catch a motivator
Depression, not in my world.
on a Thursday and Saturday. Reggae Global Radio, NIE Radio. Follow him on social media. NIE Radio. I want to say much love to my family over there in New York. Island worldwide, exhibiting the power of music. China Nicole, Gary. Much love. Big ups to Clinton Lindsay and the Foundation Radio Network. Have all of Florida locked, but not limited to Florida.
These are the things that I would do.
Big ups to the family out of Texas. All of Radio, Dusik Media Groups, WGLRO, home of the Don and Walker Morning Show. People Station, taking it from the sheets to the streets, touching from Detroit to Denmark and all points in between. Big ups, Danny. Those locked in on PEMGTV.com. big ups to you. Those locked in on Facebook Live, much love to you. Those on Clubhouse. Yeah, the club is called The Stew Pot. Tonight's room, healthiest foods and vitamin D. Yeah, it's a question sign. You guys on Clubhouse and Facebook Live, remember it's only a segment broadcast. Go ahead, use up the website, kevinstew.com. It's the home of the night shift to DJ Kevin Stew, and where you're encouraged to have acceptance through enlightenment. Come on over, jump into the stew pot. If you're wondering what the stew pot is, it's what others call a chat room. Oh, fancy over here. So it's our little interactive portal where you send your texts and leave your messages, you know. You can remain anonymous, you can put your name, let us know who you are, get more personal, you know, you go. You don't need to register for anything. You don't need to have a firstborn, an internal organ, a blood sacrifice, nothing like that. Let's go to kevinstew.com. And boom, you are right there. Live and in living color. You're watching live, you're listening live. The tune-in channel for those who want to use tuning and can only listen in. The night shift to DJ Kevin Stew. You're live and in living color right there. You're not watching me, but you can definitely hear me.
We party like a Friday. And if I tell you wine, you must take a wine. If you don't, it's a crime. Unless you have a man, there would be no racism, hatred.
I want to say thank you to my segment sponsors. Pulse Media Group and Being in the Moment is price. Let's get them a call. What can they do for you? Everything you see on kevinstew.com and more. They can host your website as they do for kevinstew.com. But if you have streaming that you want to get done, whether on a secure platform, whether yours or theirs, let's get them a call. 754-999-1140. What can they stream? What do you have to stream? A church service, a wedding, a funeral, a seminar, a party, a graduation, you name it. You want to stream it, they have a solution for you. Call them up, 754-999-1140. I want to say thank you to Althea and her Healing Heavenly Hands. Althea SU is a licensed massage therapist operating out of Broad County, North Miami-Dade and South Palm Beach counties. She comes to you, bringing her table, her oils, and over 20 years massage therapy experience. Outside of paying her, she only has one request. Get off her table and go sleep somewhere else when she's done. She's gotta go. And it's because I always fall asleep. She's advising that when you get yours, it's not a problem if you go to sleep, you know. Just do it somewhere else. I want to say thank you to Reggae Global Entertainment. Reggae Global will act as your booking agent, handle your tour management, your publishing, marketing, trade and promotion, your trademarks, legal service referrals, music production, and so much more. Check them out. Go to reggaeglobalentertainment.com, or even simpler, go to reggaeglobal.com. Click on the little 3 bars, look at the menu, drop down menu, click on services. But more importantly, click contact us, get in touch with them and see how they can help you. I want to say thank you to McNeil Trucking. With McNeil Trucking, you're in good hands. They're licensed and insured movers. You want to move from here to there, give them a call. 954-406-9740. Say, hey, I'm ready. Help me out if you can, please. 954-406-9740. McNeil Trucking. Thank you very much.
our mommy and daddy. Trust me, what a wonderful world it would be.
Ricardo Drew working out Drastic and Lily.
When we party like a Friday, Friday. And if a girl give you wine, you must take the wine. If you don't,
The track is called Change the World.
it will be.
What would you do if you could change the world?
These are the things that
I'm not sure what kind of ice cream would be made breakfast, but the concept of every child being happy and having a family. Yeah, I like that. Invite you to call a friend, tell a friend, friends of your friends, friends of your enemies, enemies of your friend, and your enemies too. Link up everybody, because it's not leaving anybody out. We're trying to make the world a better place, right? So even the ones that you don't like, they're part of the world too. Include them. So go ahead and share, contact somebody and say, hey, the stew is on. And we can even be interactive. We can call in and put in our 3 cents. Yeah, man, I'm willing to accept more from you than anybody else. 773-789 is the number that gets you in touch. That's 773-789-7839. 773-789-7839. You can call, you can text, you can WhatsApp, you can Telegram. We only ask that you keep things respectful when sharing your opinions. So like I said, tonight we're talking about some of the healthiest food and what it is that the scientists are saying about vitamin D in recent times. So, I'll start with the vitamin D thing because it's one of those hot issues. Yeah, it is, because we're talking about things relating to the buzz of the last 2 years easily. It relates to scientific research relating to COVID-19. Now, first off, I wonder why it is that this particular information is found in the Business Insider. What does our health have to do with business? But then again, when you think about it and you follow the money trail and you go down the rabbit hole, all the dots are connected. What, according to Business Insider article, it is titled "Vitamin D isn't an effective COVID-19 treatment, but scientists haven't ruled out its relationship to severe disease." Personally, anything that comes after "but," well, once you make a statement and you include "but," everything before the "but" is negated and all the important information comes after. So, according to the article, and you can find the article on msn.com, and of course you can check it out on Business Insider. Zinc, vitamin C, and vitamin D do not prevent COVID-19 deaths, as according to a scientific review. But vitamin D shortened patients' hospital stay if they started taking it after getting COVID-19. After? So what happened if you're getting regular vitamin D before? And this is one of the questions that I have immediately coming out the gates. Greetings and salutations to you, 2749. Much love. How are you? So, if, according to the scientists, and these are just some bullet points relating to the article, according to the scientists, vitamin D can shorten patients' hospital stay if they start taking it after getting COVID-19. Considering that vitamin D is naturally available, all you have to do is step outside of your home and stand in the sunlight. You're getting healthy doses of vitamin D. So with taking that into consideration, why is it saying if they start taking it after getting COVID-19? Why would a statement be like that be made by scientists? Anyway, we're going to go on a little bit further. We'll come back to that. The review still concluded that vitamins and supplements are not effective COVID-19 treatments. All right, so let's see what the details of this article says. Scientists have wondered since the start of the pandemic whether certain vitamins like zinc, vitamin C, or vitamin D improve outcomes for COVID-19 patients. Globally, some doctors continue to prescribe these supplements in hopes of promoting a healthy immune response. In hopes? And only after contracting COVID-19? That's not what the first paragraph of this article is saying. But let's continue. A scientific review from the University of Toledo published recently found no evidence that taking zinc, vitamin C, or vitamin D reduces the risk of dying from COVID-19. The analysis looked at 26 peer-reviewed studies from around the world that encompassed more than 5,600 hospitalized COVID-19 patients. Patients who took zinc and vitamin C did so after they were admitted to the hospital. The study also included patients who took vitamin D before their COVID-19 diagnoses, as well as some who took the supplement after they got sick. Across all these scenarios, vitamins didn't seem to lower the risk of mortality. Let's continue. But vitamin D reduced the length of a person's hospital stay if they started taking the supplement after the COVID-19 diagnoses, whereas zinc and vitamin C did not. Dr. Azizullah Baron, the study's lead researcher and a resident at the University of Toledo, said more studies are needed to know if vitamin D is an effective COVID-19 treatment. If it showed benefit in patients with normal vitamin D levels, then for sure you can say, oh, vitamin D works, Baron said. For now, he added, only patients who are deficient in these vitamins should take them as supplements. I'll pause there because I have a call. Greetings and salutations.
Greetings. Should I say Dr. Stu? Oh, I apologize. It's not a DR, it's a DJ Stu.
Yeah, thank you very much. What's out there? How are you?
I am doing so well. You know what? I think that you do these things when you know I'm going to be up past my bedtime because you know I'm going to call and chime in.
Well, I haven't even said anything much yet. I just read an article. So let me hear your chime. Give me your chime.
So I heard COVID.
Yes.
And I heard vitamins. And one vitamin in particular that jumped out at me was vitamin D.
Right.
And I am calling in to share my story.
Okay.
2 years in a row, 2020 and 2021, around the same time, I received a positive COVID diagnosis.
All right.
Now, anybody out there who's listening and who knows about me, I'm still here after not one, but 2 positive COVID diagnoses. I was never hospitalized for either occurrence. Symptoms were, well, the first time I got diagnosed, I didn't even realize I had a symptom. I just couldn't smell when my daughter, who is a self-proclaimed scientist, she makes all of her facial products and her hair care products, she makes them from natural ingredients.
Right.
And in 2020, she was cooking up some concoction that, by the way, makes my hair. Yeah, this is another show, but apparently it had an odor that I wasn't able to smell.
Right.
And that's how come my daughters literally walked me out of the house, took me to get tested, and the results came back as positive.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't worried. I was concerned, but I really wasn't worried because I am the type of person that at the height or I should say at the beginning of COVID back in 2019, I was one of those who was fortunate enough to work from home. And a part of my daily routine was to go sit in my backyard in my rocking chair for anywhere from 15 to 30 minutes in the sun.
Mm.
And I don't know how more natural you can get from how much more natural vitamin D you can get than from the original source.
Mm.
So you hear people talk about, oh, if you go in the sun, you're going to get skin cancer and you're going to do this and that.
Yeah.
I'm skin cancer free, but I literally spent the majority of from April 2019 to the better part of 2020 into parts of 2021. And this was part of my daily regimen
Mm-hmm.
is sitting out in
In
the
a rocking
sun
chair. Yeah.
don't forget the rocking chair. And what that did for me, I didn't realize, I just knew that I heard, okay, vitamin D is necessary for your body and your immune system.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have to take any pills. There were no side effects. But guess what happened when I went back into the office and I wasn't getting my daily natural dose of vitamin D?
You got sick?
No, I didn't get sick, but my body felt sluggish.
Ah. Okay.
So for those of you who are sitting in the office behind a computer, in front of a computer screen, in a desk or whatever, and you're spending the majority of your day in there, I'm quite sure that everyone is entitled to a lunch break. Some of us are fortunate enough where we get a lunch break plus additional breaks.
2 15-minute breaks.
Yeah, thank you for putting that out there. But rather than sitting behind your desk or sitting on your cell phone or on social media or whatever, I guarantee you that if you get up and you go outside for that 15 minutes, for those of you who get the sunlight, and yeah, you can walk, you can move around because the exercise and the activity is good for your body.
Mm-hmm.
But if you do it in the sunlight, for me, my concentration was back on point because I get up early because I have to be at work at a certain time. And by 9, 10, 10:30, 11 o'clock, I can feel my energy level. I can feel my focus starting to be kind of like, and I'm going to put it as far as, I'm not going to say my memory gets fuzzy or whatever, but I can definitely feel the difference
Right.
in my energy level. If I'm fortunate enough to be in an office where I can take a break,
Yeah.
go outside for 10, 15 minutes and just be in the sunlight. When I go back to my desk after that very short exposure to the sunlight, direct sunlight, that is, I am like, oh, wow, I have this energy and my focus. I can, okay, this is what I need to do. This is what I need to, and I can get that done instead of sitting there and trying to figure out what I need to do. So I
So you're
say
saying
all
your
of that.
little time out in the sun makes you more focused, makes you more alert, and keeps you on task?
Yes,
Okay.
thank you. I was gonna say I share all of that to say what you just said.
Got you.
Vitamin D is crucial for your body. For me, it was being more focused, my energy level increased, and it's like I have clarity of mind.
So apparently, what these doctors are saying, it doesn't. So they're not really saying that vitamin D doesn't work per se. They're saying
What are they saying?
they're saying from the first part of this article, what they're saying is people who take vitamin D after being diagnosed with COVID-19 may have a shorter hospital stay.
I was diagnosed twice, never been
M-
to the hospital.
may. And this is what I'm saying. So what happened to those who have been getting vitamin D prior to contracting COVID-19? So
Um,
if it helps shorten the hospital stay, why
After.
why wouldn't it be beneficial before?
Thank you.
Because
And
this is
that
the
is
argument that is used to promote the vaccination. Get the vaccination so that if you contract the COVID-19 virus, your symptoms may not be as severe and your hospital stay may not be as long. It's the same argument. So why isn't the as much focus be
on
placed
preventive
on
health.
something like very free vitamin D, which the scientists themselves are saying, hey, using this may shorten your hospital stay.
They had to get it from somewhere because so why wouldn't you if they're saying that it may shorten your hospital stay after you get it, which goes back to your point. What about those individuals who practice getting vitamin D, whether it's through a supplement or naturally? This is what they do not report is individuals like myself who get the vitamin D, who take the zinc, who do all of this as a part of
A regular routine.
a regular health routine. I don't think that anybody who, as healthy as you may be, doesn't matter how many of the vaccines that you've received, that does not preclude you from testing positive for the COVID virus, right? Am I correct? Based on what,
Based on what the world has seen thus far,
right, right. So, first of all, it was like, okay, if you get the vaccine,
then you won't get COVID,
then you won't get COVID.
right?
Then it went to if you get the vaccine, your
You
symptom, you won't die from COVID.
right
Then it went to if you get the vaccine, your symptoms
may
may
not be
not
as
be.
severe.
And notice they didn't say it will not. They say it may not be as severe as
Listen,
someone unvaccinated.
I talk a lot about the word may and how it is
May.
used in legal documents, but I'm not getting. It's not about whether or
It's
not
not about
anybody
it's not
should
about
take the
that.
vaccine.
Yeah,
That's let me make
and
sure to say that. What
tonight is not about vaccination. It's about things that we can do to strengthen our immune system. Because I look at it as not if you're going to be tested positive for COVID. And notice I didn't say you get COVID. It's a virus.
Mm-hmm.
How many people, how many hundreds of thousands of people a year test positive for other viruses?
Well, they're not as dangerous as COVID-19, apparently. Now, you
Well,
said you tested positive 2
2
years
years in a
in a
row.
row,
Yes,
and here you are today.
here I am today.
I guess that so you know, I guess it goes in tandem with no, let me not make that statement because then you're going to hear that I am saying that it's just like the flu and the flu vaccine and whatever else, and I'm not saying that. So I won't even bother to make that statement.
Tonight is not a show about vaccine.
No, it's not.
Okay, so
So it's about what the scientists have been saying about vitamin D
right.
and some other vitamins to support fighting the virus.
And
Now,
strengthening your immune system.
right. So in the same article, it goes on to say that vitamins may offer immune support, but they do not treat COVID-19. Now, what else have we heard that about?
Every
That
other virus that has been out there.
no, what I'm talking about as it relates to treatments.
Hmm.
As it relates to treatments, what else have we heard offer immune support but not treat COVID-19? But this,
Are you talking about the V word?
and however, it is pushed a whole lot more. So much so that just recently, Britain has said, you know what, we're moving away from all these COVID restrictions. And this was since the Queen tested positive.
Isn't that some ish?
But I digress. Let's go back to this article.
Yes,
Scientists
thank you.
often study zinc, vitamin C, and vitamin D in relation to viral infections. An article goes on to say some research suggests that zinc might prohibit viruses from replicating, and populations at high risk of acquiring viruses like HIV or hepatitis C are often deficient in zinc. Vitamin C and D also have anti-inflammatory properties that may help ward off severe disease. Based on this knowledge, Barron said some countries have promoted vitamin cocktails for COVID-19. Early in the pandemic, Egypt required doctors to prescribe vitamin D, vitamin C, and zinc to symptomatic COVID-19 patients. At that time, there was not enough evidence for that, but they made this conclusion based on non-COVID data, Barron said.
Oh, did I forget to share that I have underlying circumstances that could be detrimental to one's health for contracting any virus? I have 2 autoimmune diseases.
Right. And tested positive for COVID-19 twice.
Twice. Never been
But,
hospitalized. The
you know,
second
there are
the second
exceptions to
time
the
I
rules.
yeah,
They're not saying that it happens to everyone, you know?
but they're not saying that is not what they're saying, DJ Stu. They're not saying that there are exceptions. What they're pushing is whatever to make some pharmaceuticals money. They're not pushing the fact that, okay, you have underlying conditions that, excuse me, if you were to be tested positive
Mm-hmm.
for COVID, for the flu, for anything, why don't you strengthen your immune system? Excuse me. Our immune system was developed. We have an immune system for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
Our immune system is in place for. Oh, I apologize. I have something caught in my throat.
So, like, you need some water there. You have some?
Yes, I just took a sip of water.
Okay.
But we have an immune system that is designed to heal our bodies
Right.
from certain ailments. So why wouldn't we want to strengthen that immune system
Well,
by taking vitamin C,
well,
vitamin D?
vitamins and minerals on a whole.
Yes.
And you know, we hear Nurse Marva Riley, we hear her story. When we listen to her story, when she talks about being at death's door, literally, and this had prompted her to write her two books. One is Share, the recipe book, and the other Eat, Sleep, Meditate. And
And
in
this is
sleep,
pre-COVID.
yes, Eat, Sleep, Meditate was pre-COVID, and you know, she talks about doing those things being primary in her recovery, and also a change in lifestyle, a change in diet, eating differently, exercising more, things like that, being outside, getting into the sun, things like this, and that changed her life. So here it is, and there are many more stories similar to that. Your story is quite similar, and also having two autoimmune diseases. But here it is now. Of course, there's the argument that COVID doesn't affect everybody the same way. Cool, I'm cool with that.
Me too.
This this article goes on to say, as of August 2021, Egypt's COVID-19 treatment protocol still included zinc and vitamin C. India also commonly prescribes vitamin C, vitamin D, and zinc for COVID 19, according to a June 2021 editorial in The Lancet. But the National Institute of Health has found insufficient evidence to support vitamin C, vitamin D, or zinc as COVID 19 treatment. Let me ask you this. Are you aware that India has a greater population than the United States?
Yes, I've known that for a long time.
Okay. Are you aware that the reported number of cases and deaths in India were less than that of reported in the United States?
Yes, I do.
Now, of course, not to say that all the figures are true, but assuming that there are some left out because of reporting issues. Because according to those arguing, you know, there are many that have not been able to report cases. But still,
Okay. Can you put tack in? Just put a thumbtack where you're going right now.
okay.
Has it on? And I'm playing devil's advocate here. Where in the United States, those same statistic are just as prevalent as it is, whether it's in Europe, whether it's in India, whether it's in Asia, wherever it is. However, and I am going to borrow one of your terminologies. I'm not even a DJ. I'm definitely not a DR. But I consider myself a health and fitness professional that knows.
And you have the certification to prove it. But go on.
Yes, I do. But I digress. That if, regardless of underlying conditions or not, before COVID, there was always some type of virus out there. And I just have a healthy lifestyle. I've gotten the flu. I've gotten measles. I've gotten chicken pox. I've gotten what other viruses are out there, even as a child. You name the illness or the disease, I've contracted it. I was never hospitalized for any of those. And I think what is happening is how do I put this? The fear that they're instilling in individuals about the virus. I am in no way undermining the effects from the virus.
Nor the existence of the virus.
Right. Oh, no, I would not do that.
Got you.
But why isn't it more widespread? And I'm talking about the United States because I've not lived in any of the other, countries that are promoting more natural, more vitamin-based therapy.
Right.
I live in the United States. And I don't hear any of the scientific evidence that you just talked about. Yo, you have underlying conditions. Okay, so why are you still going to continue to not be active, not to get out in the sun and get some vitamin D, not to take natural supplements like vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc, potassium, magnesium, supplements that have been proven to strengthen your immune system? I am not saying that those supplements that I have mentioned is a cure for anything. But you talk to any medical expert, and those are a few of the supplements, and see if it does not strengthen your immune system. When you have a stronger immune system, your body is able to fight off more of these viruses and more of these disease that attacks your body, because none of us are immune.
That part.
None of us are immune to any of this.
It's just how well our bodies recover, how well our immune system works to prevent serious
to prevent
ailments.
our bodies from succumbing to the effects of any virus that we contract. Why isn't it more prevalent to speak about preventative measures rather than trying to backpedal to see, okay, well, I have diabetes.
How can we fix this?
Yeah, I have diabetes. I have heart disease. I have COVID. Let's see what we can do to go and reverse the issue. Why not put it out there in the beginning to say that if you have these underlying conditions, why not strengthen your immune system? And I'm going to say this one more time. Ladies and gentlemen, whoever's listening, our immune system is our immune system for a reason. It is there to fight off whatever viruses, which I am going to call them aliens, attacking your body. Why aren't we teaching everybody how to prevent or to prepare our bodies to fight off those foreign objects, aliens, however you want to call it, that are going to come into our bodies and attack it?
Well, I have my own opinion on as it relates to a response to that. I addressed this a couple of weeks ago. There are 2 countries out of 195 in this world that promote, that market, that advertise pharmaceuticals. the United States and New Zealand. 2.
Why am I not surprised?
So why wouldn't there be an emphasis on something that you can get courtesy of the pharmaceutical industry versus something that you can get naturally? And these are questions that I ask. Nobody else can anybody else can choose not to ask those questions, but these are questions that I ask. And so I'm not saying that the information that we come across in the news, like this article that I'm presenting right now, courtesy of the Business Insider that I found on MSN.com, I'm not saying that this information is not fact. I'm just saying, has there been any other consideration as it relates to this information? When you look at this information, are you asking any other questions relating to same information? Like, okay, so as of August 2021, Egypt's COVID-19 treatment protocol still included zinc, vitamin C, and India commonly prescribes vitamin C and vitamin D and zinc for COVID-19, according to a June 2021 editorial. When you look at something like that and you say, all right, so what has their numbers been like?
Is that published? Is that I mean, is it? I'm not going to say it is public knowledge, but is it publicized?
There you go. Well, it's how much it's out there, and it's for everyone to go ahead and find it. It is not like it is being presented in the news as everything else relating is. And so you kind of have to scratch your head and ask the question, why isn't it? But then again, it comes back to the business of healthcare, right?
Yep.
Okay, so looking further into this article, it says there's no evidence for those beliefs that we mentioned earlier. A February 2021 study found that zinc and vitamin C supplements neither reduced COVID-19 symptoms nor led to faster recovery. However, earlier in the article, they said those that started taking vitamin D after being diagnosed with COVID-19 would have had or may have shorter hospital stays. But that's the same argument when you said, go get the jab because you may have a shorter hospital stay.
Right.
And you may have reduced symptoms, not as severe symptoms. And because nothing is guaranteed, right? So
Right.
I'm not saying it is guaranteed that you will not get sick when you go ahead and take these vitamins and supplements. But in the very same way, they're not saying that you won't get COVID. Well, no, it is not. It is being said that you won't get COVID after you get the vaccine. The Queen Mother was just diagnosed with COVID-19. This is the Queen. There are strict protocols that are in place as it relates to those around her and where she goes and what she's exposed to and their treatments all around her and herself. So how then did she get it? But anyway, that's for them to answer. I'm not trying to split hairs on that
Right.
at all.
Yeah, pun intended. But like I said, it's at this point, I'm going to make a statement that I'm going to stand behind 100%.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a matter of if you're going to be diagnosed with SARS-CoV-2 virus.
Mm-hmm.
It's a matter of when.
Right.
And when you are diagnosed with the COVID virus,
whichever variant it is.
Lord, and they're coming up with by the way, totally unrelated to tonight's topic. Did you know, and I'm not sure if anyone out there has been listening to the news. I am not a news junkie, and it's just something that just came across as I was listening to a program on the TV. that they're developing an additional vaccine for, and this is how they put it. The researchers are seeking approval from the FDA for an additional vaccine for people with compromised immune system. Isn't that what they said about the first and the second and the booster? But I digress. That's not what tonight's show is about. I'm just putting a bug in everyone's ear who is listening.
At this moment, I do want to say to those who are locked in on Facebook Live and on Clubhouse that please go ahead and use the website kevinstew.com for the remainder of this broadcast. We're going to part company here. I went a little bit longer than I normally do, and so come on over.
And the discussion's about to continue. So
yes.
Facebook and what's the other one? I apologize.
It's Clubhouse
And Facebook.
Yes.
I am playing devil's advocate tonight. So if y'all want to come, if y'all want to join and listen to this,
but they're welcome to call in too. 773-789-STEW is a number that you can call or text. Preferably call. Let's be a part of the discussion, and I accept arguments from any side.
Every point of view is important here
because it's open, honest discussion.
It's a discussion. We don't have conversations in the stew pot, do we?
Well, we're not cutting anybody.
No, we're not. We're having discussions, open, honest. So speak your mind, share your thoughts.
Right. So you can call, you can text, but I do appreciate the call. 773-789-STEW. That's 773-789-7839. Facebook Live, Clubhouse, deuces to you. Catch it tomorrow when we do it all over again, 10 p.m. Eastern, right here on the Night Shift with DJ Kevin Stew. Now, continuing, Miss Althea, continuing with this article here, it goes on to say Barron's study, or Beran, didn't consider whether hospitalized patients were deficient in certain vitamins before they got sick. For COVID-19 patients with vitamin deficiencies, taking supplements could help their immune system, but that's not the same as a direct treatment for COVID-19. Again, when you use certain words, could, may, can, which are not definitive, and when it comes to science and medicine, I don't know what is definitive. You have to look at other cases. You have to look beyond what is being said or read.
And you know that legally, they use those words to protect whoever the scientists or whoever are coming up with these.
Of course, you'd have to protect yourself.
Right.
I have disclaimers that I use myself. But because I'm not trying to say I know for sure that this will or that will work against anything. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is, just like you said, our immune systems were created for a reason. And when we don't take care of it, then
it will not take care of us.
Diminishes the purpose of the immune system, right? It won't take care of us. So it's preventative action that would normally take, it becomes diminished. So here it is, when you have something that supports this immune system and you're not using it, your vitamin D, so you're not going out in the sun regularly. Most of us have sedentary jobs. We sit inside a building outside of the sun for the majority of the day. We're not moving around, so we're quite sedentary. And we have learned from various broadcasts that I have done, information I've presented, if we didn't learn it before, we learned it after, that moving around, taking productive breaks actually make you more productive. But we have this mentality that we sit at our desk because we're being productive. And then we end up in this cycle of how many times reading that one paragraph because we didn't get it the first time, we didn't get it the second time, we didn't get it the third time, and we need to look away and come back to it before we can get it the fourth time. Time wasted. But if we took a break and we came back and we read it, like you said, you have taken breaks, gone outside, took a little walk for 10 minutes, and came back and you had more clarity. You could attack tasks with more vim, vigor, and vitality. And
this is not what I've seen other people do. This is not what I've heard what other people have done. I am speaking from experience.
well, right. And you're not the only one that has expressed this. So here it is. This article goes on to say there is strong data about the association of vitamin D deficiency and worse outcomes of COVID-19, Barron said, adding, if someone has vitamin D deficiency, his autoimmune system is not going to be as good as a patient with normal vitamin D. Okay. So, again, why not talk about preventative measures? Why not talk about we boosting our vitamin levels on a regular? Why are we not talking about that? But here it is. That is not the silver bullet for this thing.
And I'm not sure when a particular healthcare service came into play that started to promote preventive medicine. And being in the corporate world and being fortunate enough to have a group insurance that, of course, lowers the cost, what do the majority of those insurance companies use so that employers can get their employees to enroll in their plan? What do they preach? Preventive medicine. I am going to go to the doctor. They will pay a certain amount if I go to the dentist twice a year to get
You get
my
incentives.
cleaning. To get, yes, you get
Right.
the incentive is to the employee because it's less money out of their pocket for preventive care. It's less money that the employer has to pay because guess what? If I go to the dentist twice a year to get my cleaning, they're going to catch that cavity or they're going to catch that periodontal disease and treat it right then and there so that it doesn't turn into
Something more costly.
Yes, a severe issue that is going to cause, instead of paying $25, $30 copay twice a year to go get this preventive treatment, rather than sitting around having my teeth and my gums looking like God knows what.
Well,
And then,
that works out good for all
who?
parties. It works out for all parties involved because you as the employee, it promotes your health, and them as the employer, they get to keep their most precious resource, which is human resource.
Okay, no, I don't see where me as the employee benefit, because I'm going to have an issue that could be easily fixed or even diverted if that situation is caught in an early stage where it can be treated.
Yeah, that's why they encourage you go and do the preventative care.
So why isn't that being promoted now for this virus that has consumed everybody's life? Why isn't preventive care being promoted to prevent?
I got you.
That's my point. Tonight is not about dental insurance. It's not about medical insurance. People, let's start doing preventive care for ourselves. The resources are out there. Let's not sit around. And this is what I love about the night shift. And again, I'm going to
Thank you.
borrow one of your phrases. And I'm probably going to get this not correct. But you don't, you stimulate how does it go again? You don't.
Stimulate appetite, not satisfy hunger.
Yes, you stimulate the appetite. You don't satisfy the hunger. And you know what that means for me? You're going to stimulate my appetite, but you're not going to give me the information. I'm going to be like, well, why are you doing that? That is not your job. Your job is to get my mind thinking and be like, whoa, wait a second. I'm a part of the public in the United States, and you're stimulating my appetite now by saying, wait a minute, I don't have to go out and get this vaccine. I don't have to.
I didn't say that. I'm not telling anybody that they should or should not go out and be vaccinated.
And the views expressed on tonight's broadcast is not that of DJ Kevin Stew.
Yes, this guy. Yes.
Or its affiliates. These are the views of a regular contributor who is also an individual. These are my views. So please, anyone within the list with the listening ear in of my voice, in no way my views that I expressed are my views.
Got you.
So if everything is about preventing the circumstances from the cause, why isn't that being
The focus.
the major focus of what is going on? Rather, why aren't we talking about ways that you can lower the risk of when, not if, when you get this virus that is so publicized?
But isn't that the argument with being vaccinated, that you're preventing?
This is not a show about vaccine, DJ Kevin Stew, and I'm trying not to go there. Please do not keep drawing me into that, because
I'm just saying, that's pretty much the information that I get when I listen to the radio and I see billboards and everything else, and I watch TV. Those rare occasions that I do watch TV, and I see these things. That's pretty much the argument.
everything
My thing is,
is pointing towards everybody getting vaccinated. And each time that a round of vaccine comes out, and they're still
there's an advertising
experiencing,
campaign that goes in support of that. And I get it.
I'm gonna put this out there. And what is the definition of insanity?
Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results.
Thank you.
So here, funny enough, this article ends with the words, "Vaccine remain our most important tool for preventing severe COVID-19, and steroids are our most effective method of treating it. After 2 weeks, booster shots reduce the risk of COVID-19 hospitalizations by at least 90%, according to data from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention." According to that data. But what is this? Where was this data captured from?
Right.
What's the whole pool of resource where this data came from? And I'm not saying that the data is incorrect.
It's not incorrect.
I'm asking about, is the data complete? That's what I'm asking.
Right.
Because before that, it says A September 2020 study found people with vitamin D deficiencies had an increased risk of testing positive for COVID 19. A recent Israeli study also found that about half of people who were vitamin D deficient before getting COVID 19 developed severe illnesses, compared to less than 10% of people who had sufficient levels of the vitamin in their blood. So that data is also there. However, that does not become the focal point of the information, because they sum it up with the way they close out. And all I'm saying is, let's ask questions, people. Let's go ahead and have these discussions with our doctors. Let's go ahead and speak publicly with each other. Let's speak to our local representatives on this matter, because they are also a part of the information delivery system. They are a part of the narrative to say, let's go and do this to return to that. That which we know, because I've seen these commercials, that say, hey, you want to go picnicking again, you want to go partying with your friends again, you want to go clubbing and cruising and traveling the world again, go ahead and get this. But this doesn't prevent you from contracting that.
That's my point. I am your model health guru. I have done everything that I know how to do to live healthy, to exercise, to eat healthy, to be active, to take, whether I get the vitamin D. And there are days when I do not have the luxury of being outside to get my natural vitamin D. I research and I find the purest vitamin D supplement that I can take. And I'm not going to sit up here and say, and be a hypocrite and say, you know what? Yes, I'm healthy and this, and I don't take supplements.
Right.
I don't have the luxury where I can just go and get my natural vitamin D on a daily basis that I would like. So yes, I do take vitamin C supplements. I do take vitamin D supplements. I take zinc. I take magnesium. I take calcium. I'm going to do that because I know the difference it makes in my body versus if I don't take it.
But interestingly enough, which leads me to the other thing that I was going to be doing in my broadcast tonight, and that relates to food. Our diet, which is where we would normally get a lot of these vitamins and minerals, they're not rich. It is not rich in foods that provide it. And in order to have a diet rich in foods that provide it, we need to have an income that can support a diet rich in foods that provide something like that.
And you know what I have decided?
What's that?
I used to be one of those people that used to, how do I put this? Just buy the cheapest stuff out there because that's the way I was conditioned. Is to look at my budget and spend all this money on things that did not contribute towards my health. And it wasn't until I was staring down the barrel of diabetes and high blood pressure that I started to say, you know what? Rather than me going out there and spending this money on a cute pair of shoes that, oh man, I look fabulous in them shoes. Or this outfit, whoa, girl, you look. I'm not going to look that fabulous in them heels or fine in that outfit if I'm not healthy.
Right.
I had to refocus on what was important to me. And I don't know why it is that we have to spend more money on foods, on healthcare, on anything that is going to boost our health, boost our immune system. And do not answer that because I have the answer for that. And it is.
I won't answer it because I want to move on to the other part of this
Thank
information
you.
that I want to present tonight. So I won't even get into
I
it.
get this. Yeah.
In fact, the other part of what I'm going to be talking about tonight can probably answer that in and of itself. Whereas we're looking at some foods that the healthiest people in the world, this is what they consume. And so I was gonna take a break, but I'm gonna go right into it because at this point in time, there's only like 45 minutes left in the entire broadcast. So I'm just gonna jump into it, and I'll run the commercials at the end. And so here we have some foods that are considered the foods that the world's healthiest people eat every day, right? And this is also found on MSN.com. It was an article out of Women's Health, and they said, article reads, "We've all marveled at those ridiculously amazing people who can still do backflips at age 90. Well, physician Steve Bowers, DO, which I'd prefer to go to a DO than an MD, but I'll leave that for another time. And his wife, Elizabeth Shimmer Bowers, went a step further. They wanted to know what incredibly healthy people had in common. So they tracked down 70-year-old cheerleaders, 80-year-old skydivers, 90-year-old record sprinters, and dozens of other crazy, fit and healthy people, and asked them what they ate for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and for snacks. And they wrote a book about it, and the book is called Secrets of the World's Healthiest People. And their interviewees mentioned certain foods and spices and beverages over and over again, some of which I'm going to touch on right now. So, first up is almonds. Rich in fats, healthy fats, fiber,
Yeah.
and protein.
Yes.
These nuts are made for more than snacking. They use slivered almonds as toppings for oatmeal or yogurt and add to muffin recipes, or they use almond flour in place of regular flour to make pancakes.
Almond milk.
I personally am one that I have two milks that I keep in my refrigerator.
Two.
I keep almond milk and I keep oat milk.
Oh, oat milk.
Yes.
Yummy.
Next on the list is apple cider vinegar. Now, I've heard various combinations for various things that included apple cider vinegar. And here's what I said about apple cider vinegar. Some people get apple cider vinegar in water and sip it through the day, but I hate the taste of it, so I put it in a shot glass and throw it back like I'm doing a shot of tequila.
Yo, tequila with apple cider vinegar?
No. They didn't say they're doing apple cider vinegar and tequila. They said take your shot of tequila.
I apologize. It's not the kind of show. I apologize. I digress.
And this is what Amy Morosini, whose health tips are featured in Secrets of the World's Healthiest People, this is what she had to say. And she goes on to say, instead of sucking on a lemon afterward, I bite into a sweet piece of fruit, like a strawberry or tangerine. It's a healthy shot everyone should do. So that's apple cider vinegar.
And if I may just add a little bit And preferably the apple cider vinegar is the raw apple cider vinegar that is organic and unfiltered, because there's more than one apple cider vinegar on the market. Not saying that the regular apple cider vinegar doesn't have its health benefits,
Yeah.
but the more natural that you can consume any products,
The better off you are. Yes.
yeah, the more beneficial it will be for your body, for your health, for your immune system, because it takes a lot less for your body to process any product when it's in
It's more
its
natural
most
state.
purest natural state.
So
Oh, did I
that's
just say that? Wow, that was a shoot. I'm impressed by that statement I just made. Holy cow!
I'm not. I
See,
figure that
yeah.
you have that information in your arsenal. Um,
No, you know what though? But none of this was rehearsed. It's just me speaking from experience and stuff that I have done, and stuff that is happening with my body, that I've seen the transformation and I've seen the changes, that I can be on here with you tonight sharing my experience.
so that apple cider vinegar that you're referring to, is that the one with the mother?
Oh, yes, we know
Gotcha.
mothers are very important to any
Gotcha.
any discussion that you have. The mother, oh yeah, we are just like up in there, and
You know, I'm yet to figure out what the mother is in the apple cider vinegar, but I'll look
the
it up and
mother
check it out.
is that part. The mother
Yeah.
that I have come up with is that one little thing that just gets in there and does what a mother does.
Okay.
Takes care of whoever is drinking it and thinking this is the nastiest tasting thing in the world. But mommy comes in there and that mother says, you know what?
It's good for you.
It is good for you. Now, come on, honey. Just pay. Okay, come on. Just.
There you go.
That's what the mother does.
Okay, cool.
I digress.
So next on the list is avocado. With more potassium than a banana, avocados are rich in heart and waistline healthy monosaturated fats, as well as hunger suppressing fiber. You are probably already on the avo toast bandwagon because everybody will talk about avocado toast and it's the wickedest things in sliced bread kind of a thing.
Right.
But have you tried avocado smoothies? Have you tried avocado smoothies? Do you make smoothies?
Oh yes, and
You add
I am
avocado
not.
to your smoothie?
I am not going to put a certain person who is near and dear to my heart out there, but I make smoothies, and my smoothies are not just piece of fruit here, piece of fruit there. My smoothies are moringa powder. My smoothies can and I and yeah, avocados. And let's see what else. Some turmeric. Uh, some ginger. A little piece of ginger. Might be a peg or two of garlic. And a little bit of cayenne pepper. Some hemp seed, some chia seed, some what's that other one? So chia, hemp, and I can't think of
Flax?
them. Flaxseed.
Wow.
Oh, listen, my smoothies. Mm.
Well,
One of these, one
it's
of these days, if you are fortunate enough, I may. If someone tells me that you have been such a good host, I may.
listen.
Yes, sir, I'm
Don't
listening.
don't threaten me with a good time. Um So it's interesting that you mentioned some of those ingredients because as I go through this list, hopefully I can get through all of this list. Um, you're gonna come across some of those things. So that's interesting. So next on this list is beans, and
Which ones? Which ones? Ooh, I can't wait to hear. Which ones? Which ones? Come on, tell me, tell me.
that is the interesting thing because apparently it doesn't really matter which beans you want to talk about. Pinto beans, red kidney beans, black beans, beans. They're packed with fiber and do much more to help to keep your body regular. They may also help regulate blood sugar, improve cholesterol, and bolster overall gut health. And you know,
And
once you have good gut health, you have overall good health.
and like Mr. Oliver Samuel says, it keeps you regular,
Very
very
regular.
regular.
Right. So you can add them to chili, you can mash them into a dip, you can use them to replace some of the ground beef in tacos and other dishes, or you can put them into your brownie. I didn't even know that. You could use beans in brownies and other dessert recipes.
Wow.
I
I
didn't know
just
that
use it.
piece.
I use when I make my beans, and it doesn't matter whether it's pigeon peas, red beans, black beans, or whatever
Mm-hmm.
beans. I use it as in lieu of salad dressing
Mm.
for my salads
Yeah. That's all.
because I make it from scratch
Mm-hmm.
and I make it where it creates its own juices. And I know how much DJ Kevin still like juices.
I do.
And I use it, I just sprinkle it on top of my salad. And you don't need that expensive salad dressing with all the additives and preservatives in it. And here you're telling me it's healthy. I just thought it tasted good.
Well, there you go. Here is something else. Your berries. Do you use berries in your smoothies?
Which ones? Blackberries, raspberries, blueberries, strawberries,
Any berries?
um, elderberries,
Kiwi berry? Any berry?
kiwi. Kiwi is not a berry. You know what? I'm going to have to give you a little bit of education on berries after the show. Kiwi is not a berry. Oh my
I just
lord.
like
Okay.
kiwi. That's all. I
Yes,
just like
I
kiwi.
love kiwi as well, but kiwi is not a berry. But all of the berries that you can think, and from what I know, and I'm sure you're gonna come back and give the nutritional value of berries. Yes, they're fruits. Yes, they have sugar, but berries are one of the fruits that has the lowest glycemic index when it comes to sugar of all fruits.
Well, according to this article, here we go. Eating berries is one thing that I constantly do every day, says Carrie Dugan, who seems to have stopped aging in her 30s. She's almost 60, but she has the energy and body of someone much younger. And
Ditto.
they go on to say, try cooking blueberries with a touch of maple syrup and pouring over pancakes or waffles. Next on the list may surprise you, and it kind of surprised me when I came across it. Black pepper.
Huh?
Black pepper.
Wait. What? Black pepper?
Black
Oh my wow.
pepper. And they go on to say black pepper houses powerful pro health effects. In addition to being both an antioxidant and an antibacterial, black pepper helps with weight loss because it stimulates the breakdown of fat cells. Black pepper.
And that is wait, is it midnight yet?
No, we're
Nope.
close to it, about half an hour.
No. But still, that is I made I set a goal for 2022 to learn at least one new thing every day.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks to you,
Oh, that was your one new thing? Black
you
pepper?
slid in right under. Yeah, I did not
Okay.
know that about black pepper. Wow.
Let's see what else I
Thank
can
you.
surprise you with tonight.
Please do. I love surprises.
So this one is no surprise. Broccoli. We talk about broccoli on this broadcast quite often. Loaded with antioxidants, broccoli is a true powerhouse food, and there are a lot of recipes that you can have with broccoli. I am not one who's against broccoli or cauliflower at all. As a child, I didn't like it. As an adult, let me have it.
Oh,
So that's broccoli. Next on the list is cinnamon. Okay. Yes, you heard me. You heard
okay.
me twist that up. Yes,
Can you please
cinnamon is.
say say it in the adult version, please? This is not baby DJ Kevin you talking,
Okay.
or adolescent. Can you please say cinnamon?
Okay. So next on the list is cinnamon. It can it can help to lower blood sugar and reduce inflammation. Plus, it's a great way to flavor your coffee, those who are coffee drinkers, without adding sugar. Now, I might add this. Cinnamon can reduce blood sugar and reduce inflammation. Think of what has been afflicting much of the world and how it does it by way of inflammation. Think of it. Just think about it.
I
You know,
don't have to think it. I live it.
right. So they mentioned using cinnamon in coffee, and coffee is the next on the list. Now, with it being on this list, I know some people are jumping for joy. Coffee, yes, I knew coffee was good for you. Again, everything in moderation. So, in addition to perking you up, it goes on to say coffee may help to drop your risk of heart diabetes. Okay. Diabetes by itself and certain cancers. And for extra health, you want to try kicking things up with a little bit of spice to your coffee grounds before brewing it. For every scoop of ground coffee, add about a quarter teaspoon of either ground cinnamon, cardamom, or turmeric to the filter.
Mm. Any mention of cayenne pepper?
In the list or with the coffee?
No, your list anywhere.
You're going to find out in a moment.
Man, do you mean I'm gonna learn more? Oh my lord. Okay,
Here's
you're real.
here's here's another one to blow your mind. I know this one's gonna blow your mind. Cookie dough.
Huh? Repeat that, please.
On this list, I'm sure it's as shocking to you as it was to me. Cookie dough is one of on the list of world's healthiest foods. As it turns out, the world's healthiest people have a surprising trait in common. They take a bite out of out of all of the flavor life has to offer, which includes dessert, and in this case, cookie dough.
Cookie dough.
And I had to do a little bit of extra searching to look at cookie dough. And what I've come to find out is that it adds energy.
Cookie dough.
Yeah,
You didn't misread that, right? It does. It did say cookie dough.
cookie dough. Because cookies
Okay.
are the perfect snack if you have a lot of activity in the morning.
Listen, that's two things I learned new for today. Lord, okay, I apologize. Keep going.
It gives a sense of satisfaction.
I like to be satisfied. Keep going.
Don't we all? To produce a stable metabolism, you need protein, and so it contributes to metabolism and body cells. It contributes to improving bone health, maintaining brain health, And when I saw the brain health part, I was like, what? Where? Well, potassium in cookie dough also maintains the health of the brain. And potassium is crucial because it helps to carry oxygen to the brain and works so that the nerves and helps so that the nerves are working effectively. So, cookie dough. Who knew? Who'd have thunk it?
Who would have thought? You took the word. Who would have thought cookie dough?
Right.
Now, notice he didn't say go eat a bag of chocolate chip cookies or peanut butter cookies or oatmeal raisin cookies or
No.
macadamia
Some
Lord,
cookie dough.
okay. Yeah.
Some cookie dough.
Cookie dough. A bite of cookie dough. Okay. I apologize.
Everything in moderation. So,
In moderation.
next on the list is cumin. It's a wonder spice. It's considered a wonder spice. And it appears in many curry blends. And it takes center stage in certain recipes. In kichari recipes, you have cumin taking center stage. It's a big deal. Not surprising to me, not surprising that when it comes to Indian food, not surprising at all. Next on the list
Yeah.
is
Whenever I do any type of curry dishes, I always use, in addition to curry, I always use cumin and turmeric. So it's curry with the cumin and the turmeric.
there you go. So then there is dark chocolate. That is next on the list.
Of course, dark is always
Yep.
better.
Asha, I'm not one for dark chocolate myself, but I know the dark chocolate tends to be the better one. Asha Mittal, who is on the list of the world's healthiest people, 65 years old, avoids all sweets but chocolate. And it is dark chocolate that is the one of choice. Now, you mentioned, here's one of the ingredients that you mentioned for your smoothie: garlic. The active ingredient, allicin, may help to keep cholesterol levels low, protect your cells from oxidative damage, and normalize blood pressure and blood sugar. Raw minced garlic offers the most health bang for your buck, says Dr. Bowers, co-author of Secrets of the World's Healthiest People. And it add it to fresh homemade salsa. Stir it into ranch dressings, use minced garlic and olive oil as toppings for toast, mash it into guacamole. All totally beneficial and helpful. I have a cousin that used to just take off a peg of garlic and eat it raw.
Yeah, my daughter does that. It's like, I'm not that. I haven't morphed into that form or phase of adulthood yet. But she eats raw onions and she eats raw garlic. When I cook green bananas, I have to cook it with the skin because she likes the skin. She just doesn't eat the green banana. She eats the skin.
Well, I like
Who would have thought?
I actually enjoy the green banana skin with the green bananas myself.
Oh Lord, you and her are like, okay.
Yeah, it's a thing, I guess. It's just a thing. Game meat is next on the list. Are you one to partake of game meat?
Okay, what? Please.
Okay, so once you start talking about game meat, you're looking at what falls under that category. Things that grow wild. I mean, animals that are raised wild or free range. Your what falls under there? Your pigs, your deer, your chickens, your Yeah, and I did say deer because in some parts of the US they hunt deer.
No, not Bambi.
No, Bambi's mama. So
Okay, I digress.
so it has less fat.
Yep.
It has the right fat
Hmm.
because they tend to. Okay, Harvard Medical School says a proper diet will include both omega 6 and omega 3 fatty acids in the right
Right.
proportions, and they promote heart health, among other things. The problem with modern diets, typically, they contain too much of the former and too little of the latter. So they have too much omega 6s and too little omega 3s. By comparison, the ratio of S called caveman meat, or so called caveman meat, is far healthier 2 to 1 in deer and elk. So that's I guess those that hunt deer and but you know you have wild boar, you have deer, you have elk, you have chicken free range. These are considered wild game. You have they're drug free, farm raised livestock, also called factory farm livestock. You have antibiotics and growth hormones. These live out in the wild, so they're drug free. So game meat is and they taste different. So if you come across anyone that is selling meat that they raise on a farm themselves and it is not one of your antibiotic farms, your CAFOs, it's one of them you go visit and they have to go out in the bush somewhere to go catch this animal that they have on their land because they live out there. All they
When
do is fence them in.
the meat that I grew up on, and I grew up in Jamaica, the meat that I grew up on was never frozen or refrigerated. When my mom would go and buy a piece of beef, the cow was killed that morning. And we didn't have to wait 2 or 3 hours for her to make some soup with that piece of beef or did some beef stew or whatever.
Right.
That cow was killed that morning or the night before, and she would go. That meat, we couldn't keep the meat for more than a day because there were no preservatives. That meat was fresh, and if she did not get it home and season it that night that it was done and wake up in the morning and cook it, that meat would go bad.
Right.
So when I first moved here and tasting even the chicken,
It tasted different.
it was like, ew, it don't have no. My mom would say, "Oh, the meat don't have no taste." That means that it wasn't. You can taste the difference in the chicken that we ate was raised on the same property that I lived in. You know, we would
And
go
they just ran
outside and
around.
play. And no, I did not pet the chickens because when I realized that, okay, this was the chicken that I was feeding. And after 2 or 3 weeks of not seeing it, realizing that that was my dinner 2 weeks ago, I stopped, I stopped becoming emotionally attached to
Good
the
choice.
animals that because my family raised goats, chicken, pigs. Cows were not so much prevalent when I was growing up because, of course, it took a lot more to buy a cow. It took a lot more to
I,
feed that cow
right.
and do whatever. But that didn't take away from the fact of us eating that fresh piece of cow's meat when we could afford it because it tasted so much different
Right.
than the so-called steak that we have become accustomed to.
No.
But
Yeah.
man, when that pig was killed and some sweet and sour pork, oh dear
It tastes
Jesus.
different. Wild,
Ooh,
wild boar tastes a whole lot different from the pork that you would buy in the store.
yeah.
It just tastes different. But moving on, going down the list, I have a few more to go through. Ginger is next on this list, and you mentioned ginger in your smoothies that you make.
Yep. Natural anti-inflammatory.
Yes, in one study of 261 people with osteoarthritis of the knee, specifically, people who took ginger extract twice a day had less pain and therefore needed fewer painkillers. See that?
Oh, yeah, I grate it on my salads, or I get the fresh ginger root and make tea with it, which prevents me from taking some of the supplements. And when I say supplements, I mean some of the pharmaceuticals
Pharmaceuticals? Yeah.
that have been prescribed because I don't want to deal with the side effects of those. So I use the garlic. I grate the garlic or I mince the garlic and sprinkle it over my salad.
And grate the ginger.
And I grate the ginger and oh my gosh, it is so ginger dressing.
Yeah. Now,
Yes.
ginger also has been known to lower cholesterol and help prevent blood clots and help control blood sugar in people with type 2 diabetes.
Did not know that. Oh my goodness. Okay. All right. Keep going because I want to learn all I can tonight.
All right, I have a few more. There is honey. And honey is rich in antioxidants. Honey provides a great sugar substitute for smoothies. In smoothies, you can use honey on oatmeal, in marinades, or even just your drinks as a sweetener. And I do that. I use honey from time to time versus sugar. In fact, I can't tell the last time I used some brown sugar. I use stevia more often than not. Olives is next on the list.
Which one, black or green?
Olives. Period.
Yeah. Really?
Yep.
So when I have the green olives in my martini, shaken, not stirred, I am actually consuming something healthy?
Well, as long as you're not having 5 of them, yeah.
No.
Yep. Olives. So
Wow.
olives are next on the list, and popcorn. A full
Huh?
popcorn, full of fiber and light on calories. Popcorn is a great snack option. So if you're feeling a bit wild, go get some popcorn.
Or for that late night, Saturday night, date night when you just want to curl up on the couch and watch
Catch a flick.
a flick.
Yeah,
And
man.
we're not saying where that flick is coming from.
Yeah, catch a flick.
I can pop some popcorn and
Yep. It's
enjoy
a
the
healthy
movie.
snack.
I'll
And
probably do it once every 2 or 3 months, but that healthy pop. Oh, okay. All
yeah.
right, keep going because we're almost done with the day, and I want to learn. I didn't learn. That's 5 things that I've learned new today. Okay,
And I
keep
have a few
going.
more on this list.
Wow.
So protein shake is next on the list. And I would suggest anybody looking to do protein shakes, look into their proteins that they're using to make that shake. So some research is required on your part, or what you're adding to your shake as proteins.
Right.
Salmon is next on the list, rich in anti-inflammatory fats. Salmon makes a great standalone dish as well as an addition to any salad.
Yes.
Now, not just any old salmon though.
Wild caught.
Personally, I recommend wild caught. And if it
Wild
doesn't
caught
say wild
salmon.
caught on the packaging, it's not. Most of the salmon that is sold in stores today is farm
Farmers.
raised. So if you can get wild caught, you go for wild caught, even if it's tin. And I remember this from presenting some information some time back. Even the one in the can that says wild caught salmon is better than the salmon farm raised that is in the store.
That they present as being fresh when it was
Yeah.
something that was concocted in a lab and put to swim around in a
That.
farm where they can monitor it and they can. Okay, I
That.
apologize. I digress.
Next on the list, spinach. Few vitamins.
Strong to the finish because I eat my spinach.
Popeye. Yep.
I'm
Few
out here
vitamins
just
and
saying
minerals
again.
that are not in spinach. There are only a few vitamins and minerals that are not in spinach. Rich in potassium, magnesium, iron, calcium, and vitamins B6, B9, vitamin E, C, and K. Spinach. And I would go on to even say anything in the spinach family, like your kale and your callaloo. Next on the list, turmeric. Again, one of the ingredients in your smoothie that you mentioned.
And I don't use the powder. I buy the actual turmeric.
Oh yeah?
For
Yep.
those who do not know, there is like how the ginger root, you can buy the fresh ginger root, you can buy the turmeric root.
Well, turmeric is a natural remedy used for a range of conditions, including arthritis, digestive problems, inflammation, headaches,
Yep.
diabetes,
Yep.
and autoimmune disorders.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yep. You can add a little bit to your hot or your iced latte. You can add it to coffee grounds or blend turmeric with chickpeas to create a bright and delicious hummus.
Ooh.
Yep.
That's
Next.
number 6 on the list.
Next on the list is yogurt, which we've talked about also quite a bit. So I'll move on from that. I found this next item quite interesting. Pickles. Pickles and other fermented foods like kimchi and sauerkraut are loaded with probiotics. And of course, probiotics are the good bacteria that's in your gut that impact your immune functions. So, and it also contributes to mood and digestion and even weight. So, you want to get your probiotics in, you can go with some pickles. Yep. And I can hear you thinking. Tart cherries is next on the list, and they contain anti-inflammatory compounds that boost your brain health, ease stress, and help you to fall asleep faster. I grew up with a cherry tree in my yard, and I remember just picking the cherries off the tree and enjoying them. And my mother used to make cherry juice with them also. It was one of the things that I miss the most from the house I grew up in. I had a cherry tree, I had a pomegranate tree, I had several mango trees, a coconut tree, a breadfruit tree, an ackee tree, an orange tree, a lime tree, a pawpaw tree, a soursop tree, and a sweet sop tree, all in the yard, and still had space to ride my bicycle around in the yard. Those were some good old times.
And I am just so thrilled that you said the word
Panganat?
correctly.
Inside joke, folks. Inside jokes.
I'm sitting here. I am just like, oh my gosh, he said it the correct way. And then you had to just like bust my bubble and use that word.
Inside joke, folks. All right. So next on the list, I just have a couple more to go. Eggs. Now, despite the warnings that we always hear about eggs being
And high
high
cholesterol.
in dietary cholesterol, eggs are are good for your eyes, brain, and your waist,
Moderation.
as in your waistline, not your excrement. And since they're packed with protein, well, they're good to help keep you full. You mentioned this one again for your smoothies. Chia seeds. Did you mention chia seeds? Yeah.
Yes, I did.
Yes, you did. Chia seeds.
Chia, flax, and hemp seed.
Right. So, not to be don't be fooled by their size. You know, them nick about them talawa.
This sounds like you.
Yeah, kind of like me. They aid in the digestion, building strong bones, and keeping your heart healthy. Sprinkle some chia seeds over anything. And to close it out, tea. People worldwide have sipped tea for thousands of years because of its many health perks. Tea relaxes your muscles, soothes your stomach, even may help you to live longer. Pick a tea. In Jamaica, there was a tea for every ailment. And your tea came from certain bushes. Because it's the leaves of trees or the leaves of a shrub or it's just tea.
My daughter, my youngest daughter's friends, and because she grew up drinking tea, when her friends would come by and for whatever issue, if they had a headache, Mom, you got some tea?
Mm-hmm.
They had female issues, menstrual cramps, backache,
tea.
whatever. Mom, you got some tea?
Yep.
And I was like, I'd make them, and for me, the tea was peppermint. I'd make them peppermint tea, and whatever it was,
Yeah.
they would just like, oh, I feel so much better. Peppermint tea.
There's nothing like some mint tea. And I
Mint?
remember as a child
Oh, yeah.
when I would on a Friday we would have rehearsals at church, and I played in the band and later on sang in the choir, and so typically Fridays would be a long day, and I remember going home a couple of times and being gassy. Nothing came to the rescue like some good hot mint tea, sweetened
No,
with brown sugar.
Was it black mint or peppermint? Come on, there's a difference.
Listen, we had a mint tree and we just pick it and oh, that was another tree.
But it was black mint or peppermint. There's two types of mint.
Listen, it matter. It's mint.
No, it really didn't. I put mint in my water now just to give it a different flavor to encourage me to drink more water.
You have
And I
black
buy,
mint, you have peppermint, you have French thyme that give you that minty.
and you
Listen,
had color mint. You remember color mint?
listen, it's mint. That's
Mint?
where I leave it at. It's mint. Listen, Miss Althea, I want to thank you for spending time with me tonight and going through and being a second voice.
Wow, this was fun tonight.
Yeah, it was.
And Not just with me sharing, but I really learned a lot from you tonight.
Well,
Thank you.
you're very welcome, and thank you to my affiliates: One Harmony Radio, NIE Radio, Island Worldwide, Oliwap Radio, Dusik Media Group, WGLRO, PEMGTV.com. Much love, much love. I truly appreciate love each and every one of you. Thank you to my sponsors, Pulse Media, Althea U, and your healing heavenly hands. Thank you very much. Reggae Global Entertainment and McNeil Trucking. Thank you all for your sponsorship and support. We're gonna wrap this up. We're gonna close out. We're gonna say good night, good morning, good afternoon, good day to you wherever you are in the world. Call a friend, tell a friend. The night shift with DJ Kevin Stew is on Monday, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays, 10 p.m. Eastern until midnight most times. Sometimes we go over, but you know it go. In the background, the sound of Neri. Merry Neri, according to my friend Smiley Wiley. This track is called Sugarcane. I think it's only fitting. This is how we're leaving you tonight. Thank you. Do remember, look out for members of your community. Remember, your community is not just development that you live in, but it spreads far and wide. So those that you pass on the bus, the plane, the boat, or the train, whether you walk, ride, or drive, these are members of your community. Do something good for one of them today, because you never know who's going to do something good for you tomorrow. My name is DJ Kevin Stew. This is how I like to do it to you, for you, and with you. Good morning, good afternoon, good day to you. Be good. If you can't be good at it. Good night from right here in South Florida. Take care of myself there.
Good night, everybody. Thank you all for tuning in. And DJ, thank you for allowing me once again to invade your space, but to also share some good information with our viewers. Good night, everybody. See y'all tomorrow for
Real Talk. Yep.
Dreams come true. If given the slightest chance, we could have the best romance. I never let you walk alone. Never let you feel alone. Girl, if you're lonely, let me be your buddy. My time is for you only. Don't need to be in a hurry. You need someone who'd fight for you. Someone who'd die for you. Let me be the man, I wanna be the man, yeah.
Greetings and salutations, one and all. You're invited to tune into the night shift with DJ Kevin Stew. It airs on Mondays with Community and Finance, Tuesdays with Healthy Love, and Wednesdays with Real Talk from 10 p.m. to midnight Eastern Time. Come spend some time interacting in the stew pot, where we keep things bubbling and wind down in musical therapy. The Night Shift with DJ Kevin Stew is on kevinstew.com, where you're encouraged to have acceptance through enlightenment.